Well, hi, everybody. It's another earth-shattering episode of Mindy, Ed, and Don Rickles. That's right. It's us. It's your new favorite podcast. Something to say, Mindy? Is there something going on?
Yes. Well, I thought you were going to say I'm Ed, and then I was going to come in with like Mindy, but
you
didn't
just
do
did that for me.
So
That's fine.
I just got very, very confused. But all right.
As long as you didn't get
We
nervous
started.
about it. We've introduced
No.
ourselves. That's right. I'm Ed Mann. Over there, Mindy Rickles.
Right,
And,
Mindy. Right.
Mindy. Correct. I'm getting it right? I got it right?
Yes,
Finally?
yeah.
Oh, it's only been 29 years.
Okay.
Whew. Oh, God, it's a hard life. It really is. But this is, for those unfamiliar, Mindy and I have been married now for quite some time. And
it's enough.
It's enough.
Have I said
frankly.
that already?
We've kind of gotten to the end. The road has
You've
been long.
gotten to the end of the line. I'm fine.
You think?
No, I don't mean that. I love you so much, honey.
Oh, I love
Okay.
you too. Okay. This is now I get too
Okay,
soppy.
all
The
right.
audience is going click, click. Hey, we have a special guest here today. We don't want to be waiting. I mean, she's sitting there staring at us like, when can I say something? Well, there's a reason that she's here too. Mindy, do you want to introduce her or should I? How do you want to handle this? Should she introduce herself?
I love her. She can, but she's fabulous. So
Why don't I take a stab at it? I'll start, and you just correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody, everybody. There is a website. There is a YouTube channel. There's an Instagram page. There is a Facebook page. I'm betting there's a TikTok page, and it's entitled Vintage LA. Vintage LA has become one of the iconic brands of this, our hometown, my adopted hometown, but yet my hometown. And there's an individual. I'm sorry, Mindy, that's okay. Did you need an anesthetic?
I'm sorry. I just, I'm Sonny von Bulow. So things just, I'm
hold on.
laying here in the bed. And
Jordan, can you get the IV? Oh, thank you. Okay, he'll be right over. He's in Ohio, but he's very fast. Alison has been doing this now for a little while, and she has built this brand out of nothing, started with nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Alison Martino.
Hello.
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing, dear?
Thank you for that intro. I loved it because I love your voice.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Right.
Did I get anything wrong? Is this all very much
right.
correct?
I really didn't start it from. I did start it from scratch. I don't even know how it happened. It was the greatest accident ever.
Can you remember what might have started it? I mean, it's
I
become
actually
so.
do because Facebook had just gotten popular. It's been 15 years, right? So 15 years ago, and I just
Wow.
started this page because I wanted to connect with my old friends at high school in LA and realized I bet you a lot of my friends will remember a lot of the places that I'm trying to remember and talk about. So I kind of started it as a community page for just people that grew up in the neighborhood. I had no idea it would turn into the world responding to it and wanting to learn about history and talk about their history. And it's just taken off. I don't know what to say.
It's amazing how sometimes these things happen. Maybe you didn't even think it would get
Right.
as big as it got, but there it is, and it must be amazing. So, if you were to total up all the followers and all the subscribers that you've got, what does it come to? Have you any idea?
It's like it's like 15 million or something.
What?
Wow.
Oh,
That
my
is
goodness.
unbelievable.
There's this app that you can get, and it shows you how many people have been on that page and shared and responded, and it's like 15 million. Sometimes it's 11. Sometimes one time it was 26. It's crazy.
Oh, that's
wow.
But
wonderful.
it's like the official number is like, I don't know, close to 1 million or something that officially follow.
Officially, but
right,
unofficially,
right.
clearly more.
But
That's
it's all about the interaction of the community, of their interaction, and it's a high active page. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of comments and there's a lot of shares and there's a lot of emotions. And I basically just start the conversation, throw up a photo, say, hey, do you remember this? And it goes, I come back 2 hours later and there's, 900 comments. And
Wow, they're still going on.
yeah, they're still
Isn't that
they'll
something?
go on for years. I'll pull up a post from 5 years ago that's still getting commented on.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Are there any posts that come to mind of the last, I don't know, couple of months? I remember seeing one that was up Sunset Boulevard, a little bend apparently, and everyone thought, ooh, that must be
Yeah.
near where Horn is in Spago. Turns out it was a
Oh, yeah.
Carrollwood.
All the Sunset Strip pictures
Yeah,
seem to really resonate. And I think that's because everyone has driven that street.
right.
And I
Right.
think if you go
Yeah.
back to like the 70s and the 80s, the billboards were so important for advertising. Now we have digital
Mhm.
billboards. But back then they were all painted and they were all
Right.
Right.
basically music related. This is before airplanes took over the strip. you know,
Right.
a different era. And I think also there were more clubs. I think when the House of Blues came down, that
Oh,
alarmed people. Are we still going to have music on the strip? But then,
Exactly.
it's scary. But then you've got the the Rainbow, the Roxy, and the whiskey are landmarked. So the families will continue to run those till the end of time.
I hope so.
And they will.
Right.
They will. So there's like a balance. And also, I didn't realize when I started this page that I would have a responsibility to also help save certain landmarks that we're just losing so much. And there's a lot of organizations like Vintage LA, the LA Conservancy, Save Iconic Architecture, and all come together and try to save. And I think the greatest thing about the internet is I couldn't do this without the internet because I need the community
Of course. Yeah.
support the causes. And that is a great thing. You don't have to go door to door anymore or put flyers on cars. You could put one post out, and if you have one high community, a lot of people that follow, we can save diners like Norm's, which we did last year again. That was in Jeff.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The outcry.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I would think that no property owner wants to be hated to the point where they didn't realize that if they want to take down a diner that's so beloved in the city, and they see such an outcry from the community, that he might change his mind, and he did. So things like that, wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brown Derby comes to mind. Some of these iconic
Oh, wow.
areas.
I love that.
Dino's.
Wish you could have
some of these
saved
great
that.
restaurants. Yeah.
If it's so crazy because the original Brown Derby on Wilshire, which was across the old Ambassador Hotel, was in the shape of a hat, a derby hat.
Right.
An actual
Of
derby.
course.
Down in the early
I love
80s.
that.
Sorry, when they turned that down when they tore that down in the early 80s, they lifted the hat and put it up on top of a strip mall, and it's still there today.
It is?
Yeah.
Really?
It could come back. If somebody wants to go back up there and take that
Grab the hat.
picture down, it's still there.
That would be, oh God, that's such memories. That would be so terrific.
Did you
if
go
they
there,
could
Mindy?
do
Did you
that.
ever go to the Brown Derby?
I mean, there was one, didn't they have one in Beverly Hills also? And I did go to that one. And I always remember driving by with the hat and just loving that. That was so iconic.
It was
that was amazing.
Programmatic architecture, and it was one of the first to go global back then. We didn't have obviously a lot of we had no social media till really 15 years ago or so.
Right.
Before that, it was really like those kinds of structures had to get the attention of people driving. That would be the only way. That's why billboards were so popular on the strip, because it's really to attract car culture. Because we're not a walking town, right? We are kind of now.
No.
Not really, yeah.
I mean, Angeline is a perfect example, right? With the posters. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't know who she was driving around in the pink car.
Exactly. She was a great marketer. Is a great marketer. We still.
Hey, she still is.
She's still around.
She gets coffee at the Coffee Bee down here in Encino all the time. We see her,
my God.
See her all the time. I see the car, and it's always people. You always get the gawkers. She's always looking.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's really.
And she's got a little side hustle going, because if you want to get her picture, she'll charge you for it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
She's like
funny.
90.
On social media, and people are going to get likes, based on their picture with her. So God love her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know, Alison, we've known you actually for quite some time.
Oh my God.
Well before,
very long time.
Well before you started this wonderful adventure. And I don't know, Mindy and Alison, you want to talk a little bit about that, how that all started? I mean, when we first met you, it was through Mindy's brother, wasn't it?
Yes.
Larry, my brother Larry and Allie, they started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was amazing because you two were so similar in so many ways. It was like you were almost like the female Larry.
we shared the same brain on so many things. It was
right.
And, people had said we had to meet, and I did. I went to his place. I think it was 2001 or 2. And it was like we were up till 6 a.m. just talking about everything. And we actually lived, you and I and our families lived a half a block away from each other growing up. And we didn't go to the same school. So Larry and I were catching up this time that we should have known each other all that time.
Right.
I met you shortly after because Larry and I were like an instant, we were so close, so fast.
Connection.
And
I felt like we were the same.
Yeah.
Like we connected right away. And I
when
had.
do you meet my sister? When do you meet Mindy? I mean, he couldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you love the true crime,
wow.
and I was producing Mysteries and Candles at the time. And
we bonded over the Manson family. When you can bond, Allie, over the Mansons, I don't think there's anything better than that. Who cares about
the Menendez brothers?
Oh, the Menendez brothers, please. That was like, could have been my husband, one of them. Yes. I mean, those are kind of things you got to bond over.
Well, we went to school with Eric. He graduated in 89, so he definitely could have been my husband.
Wow. And I think I've mentioned before that when I worked at Neiman Marcus, there was a woman I worked with right after the parents were murdered and who said to me, I was looking to date someone. Oh, there's a great guy. You got to meet this guy, Lyle Menendez. He just moved in, at the Marina City Club and with her son, actually. And she's like, I got to set up a date for you. And as soon as she was like, let's set up the date, they were arrested, and I was pissed because it's like I was ready for that date. And then Lyle gets arrested. Who knew that was going to happen? I was, preparing for that.
Did you think he was innocent right away?
Yeah, I did, of course. No, that was so funny because I was so close.
Right? You were so close.
So close.
We need a separate podcast just to talk about crime. True.
I know, that's true. Because I could have had many conjugal visits with Lyle, and I'm upset that I didn't. Ed, sorry, honey. Sorry,
I did
but
not
I got to
know.
be honest.
I mean, I had to giggle out of nervousness, apparently. It's like, oh,
sorry
my goodness.
about that.
I'm going to take a look at the prenup.
But, going back, I do feel that I met my dad, obviously entertainer, and had known your father since the 50s.
And for those who don't know, Al Martino, great singer.
Right, that's right.
Through the years.
Yeah, my dad, Al Martino, was obviously playing all the same casinos and nightclubs that, your dad played through the years. And
that's right.
Same managers, same agents. And, they had a little person in common named Frank Sinatra.
Right, exactly.
But when I officially met your dad, it was at Paponi.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was at Paponi.
Oh, wow.
Larry was very cute about it because he's like, he calls me up and he says, do you want to go to dinner tonight? I said, sure. We loved going to the old school classic. I mean, Larry turned me on to more old school restaurants than I even knew about. And I still think about him every time I go in these places. But he goes, let's go to Paponi, which is this great, old school restaurant like the Dan Tana's of Brentwood. And so he picks me up and he says, I forgot to tell you. And I go, what? He goes, my parents are going to be there too.
Oh, my God.
They're going to be at another table because, we're not on the kids' table anymore.
Oh, my God.
And then, of course, we see them and we wave. And your dad came over and, in his classic style, tell your father I said hello. I'm Jerry Vale's friend. And
oh, my God. Yeah, exactly.
An inside joke from the gate, And I said, I think I'm okay here. I think they're going to like me.
Oh, yeah. You were perfect for my parents.
Oh, my God. They adored you.
They fell in so easily. They did.
Yeah.
They fell in so easily.
Absolutely adored you.
Your mom,
we saw you for dinner after dinner. But Barbara, treated you like a daughter. I mean, she could not have been nicer.
Your mom was amazing. And we would go shopping. I remember we went to the Barney's sale, and that was incredible. But we did so many dinners together, and all of us, with you and Ed, and I just was last night thinking about how many places we went to. Some are not here anymore.
Right.
And I had a list, and it just went on and on and on, like Trader Vic.
Right. Didn't we go to Mateo's together?
We went to Mateo's. You know who was there when we went to that Mateo's dinner?
Who?
Sidney Poitier.
Oh, my God. I think that's right.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents were very good friends with Sidney Poitier and his wife. That's right.
And he was...
Oh, wow.
Well, I remember we came in, we had gone to a show. I don't remember what show it was, but we all went to a show, and we went to Mateo's late. We came in around 10:30.
Oh, wow.
And whoever was running Mateo's at the time said, oh, my God, we're closing, but not for you guys. And they pulled some tables together at the last minute because there was like 15 of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were like throwing tables together, Mr. Poitier and Mr. Rickles. And like they wanted to make sure the valet guy was still going to be there.
Right.
But these were the such special times for me. Again, no cameras, no social media.
Right.
Everything felt like, I don't think it could happen today because I think everyone's
No.
too paranoid about the cameras.
Right.
But like I remember another time we went to, I think it was Nobu in Malibu, and James Caan sat with us for dinner. And another night at Mr. Chow, Billy Crystal and Clint Eastwood. It was,
Oh, yeah. Mr. Chow was amazing,
they
too.
all came to you, to your father and mother. It was
Right,
so,
that's
like,
right.
It was. I always say he was like his name is Don, but he was the Don. Like in the Godfather.
Right. He never got up and had to go over to them. He
No.
just sat there,
He was-
and they
yeah.
just came to him. And
Yeah.
sometimes he'd say to me, "Wait, is he a big star? Who is that? Who is that? Is that a big name?" Dad, it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Yeah. I just saw the movie. He's great, right? Oh, look at him. He's coming over. And it was that kind of a thing.
And then he'd have a line like ready. It was like he
Right,
took a minute.
absolutely.
Like, what can I say about this
I don't know
guy?
how your dad did it with those, with being, I still don't know. There's nobody in the world ever that could come up with the exact right thing to say to the exact right person.
That's
at
right.
that moment, all
that
the time,
moment.
every second. It was shocking.
Oh, absolutely.
We went to Elaine Stritch one night. We all,
Oh, did we all go to that together?
it was like a music center. We all went
Yes.
stage, and your dad.
I remember that.
Yeah, I missed that
remember
one, I think. Yeah.
Your dad and Mel Brooks had a moment that I'll never forget. It was
Really?
true brotherhood, and we all went to Pacific Dining Car after.
Oh, yeah. Pacific Dining Car was a very major place then. That's right.
And that's closed recently too, right? The last
yeah,
one's
it
closed.
did close.
Yeah.
Did
It's
close.
so tragic it closed because it was a 24-hour upscale.
I know, that was great. There's like nothing that's 24 hours
There's nothing
like that now.
Mel's Diner was just great, but there is no, after a show when you're dressed up, right, and town, and usually shows will go to 10:30. By the time you get your car out of a garage, hit the pavement, it's 11 o'clock. And
That's
so
right.
people want to talk about the show, and they're with their friends, they're dressed up. Where do you go? There was no place.
I know. Because LA, it's not like New York where you can go to a million places. LA is much more of a movie town where everybody, they eat early, they screen a film, and then, they're home by 10 o'clock. I mean, that really seems to be the way, even with big events and big stars. It's not a late town. Really isn't.
And after COVID, Dantana's used to be open till at least 1. I remember you could,
Oh, really?
in a day, you could get a chicken parmesan at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
They're closing at 10:30.
Yeah.
But so these days that I spent with your family, we were out on the town every night. We took trips to New York. I went to Vegas many times. We went to Piero's.
Yes.
And I was turned on to that restaurant by you guys. It's still my favorite restaurant, and like one of them in the world.
And I think that restaurant was in Casino.
Yes, it's the scene
if I'm not wrong.
with Sharon.
A big scene.
Stone,
That's right, with Sharon
She
Stone.
tied up her kid at home, and he goes, "I'm going to throw you out of this place. I'm going to kill you in this place."
Right.
Speaking of, and your dad. And I remember like when Larry and I were first seeing each other, and he was telling me all these stories about your dad on the set of Casino. And
oh yeah, that was thrilling. My dad, doing that film was one of the best things, and he was so excited to be on that film, and with Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese, and that was like his dream. He loved it, and it was great for him because he didn't have a lot of lines, so he didn't have to worry about memorizing, but he could be in every single scene. It was like, he was like Zelig, if anybody remembers that. It's an old Woody Allen film, but his face just popped into every single scene.
He was in a lot of scenes. I remember he told me, he goes, "Well, I'm just a mime."
I didn't know he said that.
I remember everything your dad ever told me. Because again, as we were going to these restaurants and hanging out again, we were in the car together a lot. And I remember the car rides because he was
in his blue Rolls Royce.
Whoever picked us up, we had a driver.
Oh, we had a driver.
Picked us up a lot because there was a lot of us in the car.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't
it was
drive
always
that often.
It was always fun in the car until fun on the way back.
Getting to the restaurant,
and I have to say, because your dad teased me quite a bit, but he always said something to me at the end of the night. He always used to say, "I love you, and I'm just kidding."
Right.
And he always said I had a good sense of humor because I did get him. at a young age. I was sort of educated on that kind of. I mean, he was never insulting to me, but it was in humor, right?
Right.
And
Well,
I
he
loved
always
it.
did that with
I was-
the, I'm kidding. Even on stage, he'd sing certain songs. I'm a nice guy, and Ed and I have discussed that. So the audience really knew he was never mean spirited. People never were like, oh, he's a nasty guy. No, because you could always see a soft side.
I always saw the soft side.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been able to do the act for 70 plus years. He just wouldn't have worked.
Exactly.
But it is such a different era today. I wonder what he would think with all of the, the cancel culture and the.
I know.
It's kind of. I feel it's too bad because none of this is supposed to be taken too seriously.
Right.
So,
right. And now it's very touchy.
They're very sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I have you had Melissa Rivers on? She would be a great book.
Oh, no, we haven't. She certainly would. That's right.
She'd call her. She'd be perfect.
Yeah. She's great because,
Yeah, her mom was great. I mean, I met her like once when they were working in New York. And she was, again, she was lovely. She was so sweet to me backstage. And, I knew she was a very, very nice lady.
Yeah.
And aside from being,
the acerbic stage
comic.
act, was just an act. Yeah, it wasn't real. Yeah, she was so wonderful and became so successful in a field that no one ever thought necessarily.
For a woman.
QVC, selling things online on television.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought?
She was one of the first. That's right.
Definitely. Yeah. I used to work with her at E when I was producing over at E Entertainment TV, and she had Fashion Emergency.
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then she did the live on the red carpet.
Right. And that was huge.
It was huge. I mean, it was talk about she was the person you wanted to watch at the end of these award shows to see what she said.
That's right.
They were wearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was the one on the red carpet that everybody was waiting to see what she was going to say.
Either they wanted to see her or they avoided her, but either way.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true.
I got to say something else that really fascinates me about you, Alison, and that's your ability to collect some of the most iconic, wonderful things. And I've seen, obviously, pictures. I've yet to see your place. One day that's going to happen.
Oh, that's
I've got to do it. But how did that start as a young age? And
I would say it started at birth, but I probably it did because when I was born at Cedars of Lebanon, they gave my mom a little pin that said it's a girl. And I carried that pin for, I still have it. Wow. I may have been I think it could have been an only child situation, but since my dad was on the road a lot too, and I sort of traveled with them and went to these restaurants. Back in the day, we got to say it, there were a lot of theme restaurants. So like the Luau or Trader Vic's or
that's right,
Alf Long's or something like that. And I used to think going into these restaurants, I was going into theme parks.
Yeah, of course.
Makes sense.
I'm sure Dad played Disney World, and they have the Tiki Hotel, the Polynesian Hotel, and you'd walk through and there'd be a waterfall. And I'm like, this is what my dad does. This is his job, and his daughter gets to benefit from it. And I think I always thought, I want a souvenir from where I go and what I'm doing. Like if you go to Disneyland, you want the ears or something. And I just started taking, my dad would be like,
little things.
You better not put anything in that bag. If I see anything, you're going to embarrass me. I used to take
oh, really?
Like I throw a
kidding.
purse or like a salt and pepper shakers from the Trader Vic's or something.
I know you have those. Those are amazing. You could auction those off at Sotheby's, I think.
Well, it's funny because now I'm friends with the CEO of Trader Vic's, and he goes, if you told me you were stealing from the 5-finger discount, okay, it's not a stealing. I actually was a preservationist. That's how I like to look at it.
That's right.
Because now they're saying, we're so happy you took that stuff, because they're molding it and making it again. And
because they're reopening, right?
I know I'm justifying my problem.
Well, they never sent you an invoice, so it's fine.
The klepto thing that we don't like, Allie, we don't like to talk about.
Right.
But I have always been a person that liked to have something from some place I love or something I could touch. Like we grew up on records, so I used to like vinyl. I used to like the smell of vinyl. I like books. I like the way books opened up.
Singing my tune, honey.
Right? Yeah, so I always liked things. And I think, I don't sound like really old, the younger generation, but I don't think they're experiencing what it's like to hold an album cover or to go to the record store and wait and see and open it up and see if there's a poster inside. Or
well, you know what? They're starting to do that now, right? I mean, you go to these.
Back, but
it's coming back. Vinyl's coming back. Not like it was.
Yeah.
But
everything always comes back. I mean, look, Trader Vic's is coming back.
That's right.
But I think for me, it started very young, and I never threw anything away. And I think also I lived in the same house my whole life. So I didn't have to throw things away and move and try to downsize or get rid of that box. I just would throw shit in closets. And then when I moved and got my own place, I'm like, I got some cool old LA relics, but I never imagined I would have a career at being a spokesperson for Los Angeles.
Right.
Now it feels good that I have all these menus that I took from the time, or collections. I go to all the flea markets and estate sales, and all my friends' parents know to give me their matchbook collection.
Oh yeah, matchbooks.
I've gone through like all my friends' parents, like their bars, like, what could I have these matchbooks? It's a never-ending collection. I have something your dad gave me. So he had those great sugar packets with his face.
That's right.
And I was obsessed. There were little pink sugar.
I think we have a huge box.
We still have a big
full of them. If you need a couple hundred.
Yeah.
I know we're not on camera, but I think I have one like right here, which I'm trying to. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I think they're like Sweet and Lows, right?
And it's like caricature of his face.
And so my eyes went to that at your house. And I'm like, well, I have to have one of those. So he's like, here, get out a pen, and he takes a pen out and he writes on the sugar pack, Jerry Vale's, because to Al, my dad, Jerry Vale's friend. Yeah. Big, huge, like inside joke, because my dad was close to singer Jerry Vale and they used to travel together. But the story is my father was not friendly with Frank Sinatra because they had some issues, right?
Right.
Jerry was friends with my dad and Frank. So like on Friday night, Jerry Vale would come over for dinner. No, he'd go to Sinatra's house for dinner, but then he'd go to my house for dinner on Sunday. And Dad would say, what did you do this past weekend? Well, Frank Sinatra's house, and Don Rickles was there, and we were talking about you, and The Godfather was on, and Dad's like, oh my God. Anyway, that was the inside joke that started. So every time I saw your dad, he'd say, Jerry Vale sends his love.
Oh, I never knew the backstory of that. That's hilarious.
Constant thing. And we went to New York together, and we were supposed to be in the New York parade. And then my dad couldn't do it because he had to record. And your dad goes, just get Jerry Vale. I mean, it's so obvious. He just had the greatest. It was.
Oh my God!
I used to love it. And one time they called each other, and my dad pretended to be Jerry, and it was just Jerry.
Oh man,
you're still being talked about.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Yeah, and I know how close you are to Jerry's wife, Rita.
Yes. Oh, I love her. She's 92, and she's just doing great. Jerry was amazing. No, my parents were very close to the Vales, and when they lived in Las Vegas, we used to go to their house, and we were. I remember as a kid growing up, going to their house and with their kids, and
every time we saw the Vales,
Sunday.
Yeah, when I got to know Jerry a bit too, and it was always like, it's Mindy Beth. Mindy Beth is here.
He always called me Mindy Beth by my middle name. Yeah, that's right.
By the middle name. Rita, I thought that was so endearing.
Rita had great. My mom was Judel. I was Ali Wally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if I call her right now and say it's Ali Wally,
she would know right away.
Yeah, Jerry's wife, the greatest. She is the greatest woman. But when we were growing up, she was like a second mom to both of us.
Oh yeah, she was.
We had that in common too. Even though we met later in life, you and me.
That's right.
Later, we still kind of lived the same.
Yeah, you guys lived this
she was Aunt
life.
Rita. She was Aunt Rita to me, always.
Yeah, me too.
Aunt Rita and Uncle Jerry.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
It's funny because singers like my dad, Jerry Vale, all of those singers, when they were in the casinos and the nightclubs, they had comics open for them, right?
That's right. That was always the way it was.
It was always like, Joan Rivers and Al Martino, or, Don Rickles, Wayne Newton, whatever it was, and so it became very close to comics. And I think that's one of the reasons I had a good sense of humor and understood your dad real well, is because Dad really bonded more with comedians because he was on the road with them.
Right.
Like
That makes sense.
table was like Buddy Hackett and Maureen Amsterdam, and and you were obviously very close with the Newharts for your second
That's right.
family, and
Yeah,
so
that's right.
we sort of did grow up in a very similar lifestyle, that old school showbiz.
Right. That's right. And you said you traveled with your dad on the road,
Yeah.
which is what we did too. And I've been saying that Dean Martin, he didn't take the family on the road. They would stay in LA and he'd be in Vegas for, I don't know, whatever periods of time. And that's what most singers did. And my mother was always wanting to keep the family together. So we just traveled with my dad wherever he went. If it was 6 weeks in the summer in Vegas, or we had a tutor, whatever it was, she tried to keep us together, going with my dad wherever, Cleveland, wherever we were going, so that's how it was, which I think was great to keep us all together.
I think
You get to see a lot of the country that way. You get to see all these places.
Well, I think what Mindy's saying too, she's so right. I didn't even think about this, but there are other entertainers who didn't bring their wives or their children on the road. I was lucky. I think it was funny because when I came to see your dad at the Stardust, I walked in and the first thing your dad says is, "You know this room. You know this room. You probably, because Dad played that room too. So it felt comfortable to be with your family on the road and when your father was performing, because I sort of knew what the backstage was like, and some of those promoters that would get. And your dad always told me who would eat all the shrimp backstage, and I knew who that was.
And I said, whenever I was in the audience, with my mother, he always wanted to introduce me and have me stand up and wave, and I was very shy, but I did it. And then, we go backstage and they would be like, "That's his daughter. That's his daughter. That's his daughter. There she is. That's his daughter," and it was like a very special feeling. You felt very special. And then you go in the backstage and back to the dressing.
Well, I felt very special sitting next to you when that happened. I was like, what's going on here? And he points you out. And the funny thing about your dad when he was on stage, because Mindy knew the act backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
She'd seen a lot of it. She'd been on the road. She'd seen this so many times. But every once in a while, he'd throw in a zinger or something that was completely different, something she'd never heard before. And I don't know what it was. I think it might have been at the Stardust. Might have been the same show you came to too, Allie. Where all of a sudden he started criticizing the room because he kept playing hotels that were about to get, destroyed, torn down. And he go, well, yeah, because I'm always here right before they wheel out the dynamite. And then Mindy just started laughing, and he heard Mindy's laugh, and I could see it just like,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The eyes would dart. It's like, oh, there's Mindy. I got her. I got her.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, because he knew he wouldn't always get you, but when he threw out a new line, he'd get you.
Yeah, same with my mother. We would laugh at that.
That is hysterical. And I was at that show. It's funny because my dad used to have this song called Daddy's Little Girl. And so I always knew he would sing it to me. Thank God I was the only daughter,
right, the only child.
But I mean, and when the spotlight would go on, we grew up in just a very different way of growing up, because you're sort of, you're so happy to see your parents do this life that they live, and you get to be a part of it.
That's right.
And it's,
you think that's normal, but it's not really normal. I mean, it's so different, but
I think that's what Larry and I were we were so perfect, because we were able to, we certainly didn't have to have our parents get to know each other.
No,
it was
not at all.
Was automatic. I remember when I went to a really special night with you guys when we went to the Newharts for Christmas Eve.
Oh, right. That was very major. We did that every single year.
Yes, I think I went twice, but I remember when Bob broke out. He did the night before Christmas. He
always did that every year.
And it felt like Christmas. That was a night that I felt like, this is unbelievable. Like,
right.
Bob Newhart and Bob's like, I performed with your father in Cincinnati in 1986, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
right.
It was just I miss all of that. I miss all of that. Living a very similar lifestyle and meshing together like that.
Well, what you do now, though, is great, because it kind of brings a lot of that back,
It does.
Right.
I'm really
back a lot of that
happy,
feeling.
yes. And I'm happy that my following audience, community, whatever you want to call them, is so, they love the old stars, and they love the old show business. And, there's Dick Van Dyke going at almost 100 years old. And
I know,
He's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
I'm interviewing him next week. And I am
wow.
so thrilled to include him because I love the young stars, but I'm more partial to get an interview with Peter Marshall before he passed, or to get an interview with Dick Van Dyke, because their stories, it's decades, obviously.
Yeah.
But to capture, let's appreciate them now while they're still with us,
Right.
And I think
Because there's so few.
and I think with us, you need to, Mindy, growing up with the older, our parents with an older showbiz lifestyle.
Right.
Still understand it now. If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what we often do on the show, in fact, we do it every show, we do this. We pull out a clip of Don, and we thought we'd bring one in that might be at least, there was no clip of there was these roasts that he did. And we want to thank John Griffith and Deanna for allowing us to use these clips. This is it was like the Friars roasts put on television, and they were called the Dean Martin roasts. And every week or every month or whenever they would do it, they would have a whole dais of people that were up there. It was maybe Nipsey Russell and Milton Berle and Burl Ives and whomever it might have been. And Dean was always there, right just to the left if you're facing the stage, and Don would always be just to the right. And they were both as close to the mic as they could get. And we thought we'd do one where Don's actually roasting Dean. So, hey, Italian American is the closest we can get to
Right.
to who you are. But Allie, you could pipe in whatever you like, and I'll just stop it down. And Mindy and I have not heard this, really. I mean, we just
we haven't.
Just heard a bit of it. So we're just going to go ahead and laugh at it along with the audience. And here we go. Let's roll it. This is, they're calling it Don Rickles Gets Revenge on Dean Martin.
Mr. Chairman, on guests, Monsignor Duffy, and Rabbi Kinby, and Deacon Leroy.
Nipsey Russell.
Some church in the back, no Deacon Leroy. Well, get my gathering. It is without question, in fairness to Mr. Dean Martin, this has been one of the longest evenings I've ever spent, except for the drunk. It was just charming. I know the hour is late. The dinner was absolutely fantastic. A bowl of peanuts and water with a guppy in it. One of the cheapest. I would like to tell you something about this. They make it seem to you out there in television land that we're all here with big turkey dinner or something going. These people are all called, and my name is mentioned like he don't care. He's at home with his wife going, everybody loves him. He doesn't know he's here right now. But he's a millionaire, and he says, hey, as a favor, I'll come down and we'll talk with the Jew for a couple hours.
This is actually a roast of your dad, honey. This was...
Yeah, I see that because...
But he turns it on Dean, which is great.
And he never knows what he's going to say there. That's all off the cuff, as Allie knows.
I was going to ask you that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He never wrote anything down.
No rehearsal. There's no
absolutely not. That's where he was the best. He just knew he was going to go up and he was going to improv the whole thing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Was like this as a child?
Yeah, he was always like this. He imitated everybody. But he always was like this. Yeah.
Yeah, his early act was just impersonating people. And then eventually he got laughs.
But it was all, nothing was written down, ever.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I say to you, Dean, with all sincerity, if Italy goes to war, so help me, I'll back the other side. Can you imagine if Italy was at war and he was a general? Hey, I think we ought to attack.
Everyone's there. Telly Savalas,
Robert,
Cliff
and
Robertson.
I just saw, who did I see? Oh, God. from The Odd Couple. Look,
Jack Klugman.
Oh,
Jack Klugman, Nipsey Russell. I mean, all these incredible. It's amazing to see them all sitting there together laughing. It's just.
Your dad was so in his element here. Just like,
Always.
here they are. I'm going to pick them apart.
Oh, yeah.
A matter right off the bat and tell you from the top. Tonight I'm very delighted because this is a long road. I had my first big break on the Dean Martin show through Dean and Greg Garrison, his producer, when they put me on a show for the first time with every celebrity in Hollywood, and I was completely aspiring to the death of me. And I'd like to say right out in front, so it's not lost in tape, that I thank you, Dean, really, because if it wasn't your wonderful belief and believing in me and Greg, really, maybe this day would not have come about. And I'm forever grateful to you. Dean said he'll drink to that. God bless you, Dean. His lovely wife sits by the bed every night saying, try to reach the medicine. Because when you go this time, a lot of women are going to collect. No, he's got a lovely wife. His lovely wife. What's her name? Tasha? Catherine. She's a lovely girl. You'll find her in the lobby later going, did you buy me a sweater? Poverty-stricken broad. It's embarrassing, really. Our society today, we are all brothers in arms, as Nipsey told you people out there. We just got to get America to buy that. I love Nipsey. We have a seal in the crowd. I'd like to say to Telly Savalas from the bottom of my heart, really, Telly, I kid you, I've never liked you as an actor. And Telly's the kind of guy with no money that keeps saying to the Russian girls, you want to fool around. Now, his wife is listening in, that's in humor, because he has a wonderful family and a wonderful wife, and Telly and all of us in Yugoslavia were lonely, and we thought of our wives constantly. May we be paralyzed, God forbid, if we would lie.
Now he's acting paralyzed.
Right.
But being in Yugoslavia, the biggest excitement we had was watching Tito's dog go to the bathroom.
If you're unfamiliar, that's what he did Kelly's Heroes, right?
That's right.
And, just seeing all their everyone smiling and everyone laughing.
Oh, hysterical.
And everyone cannot wait till he gets to them. Okay, I'm sure
That's right. That's right.
New a good roast, a perfect.
That's right.
What's he going to say to me?
There's so much love in it.
So you must understand. Bob Newhart made the claim that he was my closest friend. I have never met Bob Newhart. I'll put it to you another way. Bob Newhart goes to many gay parties. That's why you hear him going, you want to dance? Cliff Robinson is a fantastic actor. Cliff is sort of like Clint Eastwood, kind of down, you died, Cliff. That's what you did. Cliff is the type of guy, you're in a raft and you're alone and you're a survivor, and Cliff Robinson is the guy with you, and you want the shark to bite you on the tushy so you have a little excitement. But you're a fantastic actor, Cliff. You've told me that many, many times. And I wish you in your career a lot of luck, really. You're marvelous. And thank you for coming. We've been so close. I met the guy once buying a paper. Thanks, Cliff, for coming by. I know how busy you are with your busy schedule, standing by the studio gate at Warner Brothers saying to the cop at the gate, won't anybody see me? But good luck to you. Rowan and Martin, you were completely bad. But I say this to Dick and Dan, one of the great teams. They hang out together. When Dan went on his raft around the world, Dick was saying, I hope the wind shifts. But they're a great team. They've had great success. They're going to be on NBC again this year. Look at this. They both went, are we? I don't know. I hope not. But I love you both, and you're marvelous men. Jack Klugman, I say from the bottom of my heart, Tony Randall feels he can work alone in the series. You're annoying. I never knew you had that much hair. You can't even tell. To see Jack Klugman in real life, you can skew off him and Telly Savalas. Joey Bishop, we won't bother you. I know you're just resting. We kid Joey. I know him a long time. And I said to Joey when I got married, I said, Joey, I got married. He said, hey, you want to see my car? Joey and Cliff Robinson could hang out together. I tell you could just sit in the steam room and watch towels roll up. Lorne Greene, one of the great Jewish men of our time. It's kind of funny because we all have backgrounds, and he's a great American. And to be Pop Cartwright and stand around, it always struck me funny to see this man in Bonanza saying, all right, boys, let's get the horses up. No Jew rallies horses around. No way. We sit in a big wagon and go, bring those horses over here. Rich Little, someday you got to do you, and maybe your wife will leave you. You're a magnificent man. Foster Brooks, I cannot say your talent goes without speaking. You are a marvelous man, really. Pat Henry is my dear friend. He knows Frank Sinatra personally. In fact, they're that close. When Frank takes his car out, Pat runs in front of the car and checks for mines. Fine, guys, with that kind of...
That's all we got on that clip, guys.
He literally goes down the road. I mean, like I said, he has no idea what he's going to say to each of them.
It's so funny. I have to say something because, like, okay, we were very friendly with Joey Bishop, right?
Oh, uh-huh.
What made me laugh, I mean, obviously I could watch these for, hours, but we were very close to Joey Bishop, and you could not get him to laugh because he was the straight man and he had to be the funny one. So to get him to respond to anything was very difficult. And I remember one time my dad played a joke on him because Dad cooked a lot and he was making pasta and he put rubber bands in the pasta for just Joey's dish to see if he would actually laugh. And he didn't because he just said, I'll take this dish instead. But he's cracking up on that word. And everyone,
I know, it's amazing.
Watch these, and not just listen to them, but watch them because the reactions of those stars cracking up, and it's the real deal,
Oh, they're being genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're laughing, and they can't wait to just get their own turn. But there's Joey, and he's laughing, and that is it was very uncommon. So it's a treat to see their faces as he's roasting them. I don't know how he did it off the top of his head.
Right down the line.
Right.
Absolutely wonderful.
How many of those did he do?
God, how many, Mindy?
Oh, my God.
Countless, right?
I don't
might have been on
know.
every one of them.
I don't even know. They'd love to have him on because they'd love to do exactly what he was doing. Go right down the line, like an assembly line to each guy.
Yeah.
Or if it was a woman, and just, insult
Tear
them.
them apart.
That's right. Yeah.
Shecky and him were pretty close, weren't they too?
They were good friends. Yeah, they were good friends.
But Bob, your dad's very best.
Oh yeah, that was his absolute best friend.
Right.
I mean, they were like brothers.
Yeah,
absolutely. They were complete opposites. They
were like a odd couple in a way.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, because Bob was very meticulous and very organized, and my dad, was all over the place. Everyone did stuff for my dad, so it was like, he went on stage. That's what he did. But Bob was very, he'd been an accountant. Mm-hmm. So, he was, in his brain, it was all about numbers and things that my dad, 1, 2, 3, 9, 7, 6, he had no idea about numbers or letters or how to write a check. But no, he really, Bob, they were great together. They really had so much in common.
And so,
which was funny.
What you're doing with this, how many, there must be so many archives. You must have so much to go through.
Well, you know what we've got? I mean, I was able to find, and thank goodness for Tony Opadesano. He was really helpful. And it was years ago, and when Mindy's mom unfortunately passed, we found a huge cache of cassettes, which we haven't gotten to yet. And these are, I can hold them up for you to see it. I'm sorry the audience can't see it. But there's here's a show at the Nugget in Reno, and there's just one after the other. No one's ever heard them since.
No one's ever heard them, that's right, since that night.
So we're going to get to those. This first season we're doing this. It's a lot of Jimmy Kimmel. We have all those appearances, 17 appearances he did on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
That's
They
right.
loved each
Same
other.
thing with your dad being, having such an incredibly long career is how many young people know who he is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks to the movies and Mr. Potato Head and Kimmel having him on all the time.
Yeah. Jimmy
And
was very
watching him on
important to that.
YouTube. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knew him. Every kids to people in their 90s that saw him start out.
That's true.
I think of anyone else that was just so maybe Joan Rivers, but that's I think your dad is number one.
Oh, absolutely.
And Kimmel was.
Yeah.
You'll have to have Jimmy Kimmel on because I'm sure he's got some great backstage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we hope to.
That would
Yeah.
be terrific.
Yeah,
We
we really
do.
hope to.
I'm
Well,
just-
Allie, we can't thank you enough for being on. I mean, it's just wonderful.
So
Oh, she already left. Okay. That was fun.
I'm just looking at the wall.
Oh, she went to get something. Sorry.
Okay.
Something your dad would have. I just channeled your dad.
Right.
I was just looking on the wall because I'm sitting in my office and I see this picture. I just noticed it, and it's
You describe it if you would.
it's Here Come the Stars, 1968, and it's
Oh,
your
wow.
dad. It's Don Rickles, Henny Youngman, George Jessel, Don Rickles, and my dad. So this
Oh,
one
my
are the very
God.
rows because
Wow, that's amazing. I've never
I know,
seen
this
that
kind of-
before.
Oh, and Dean Martin and George Jessel are down here. Now,
Oh, that's
it's
amazing.
Wow.
This video, I think one of the great things about the internet now is what's resurfacing. What we didn't know is out there.
Oh, yeah.
Uploaded on.
Really?
So,
That's
tell
the
you what.
thing. Young people
did your
do
dad
that.
do all those Mike Douglas, like all those?
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
All those talk
Apple.
shows, Merv Griffin, absolutely. He
So
did
where
all
can
of
my
that.
following see all of this? Because we would like to let people who are listening, we'd like you to go to, is there a Don Rickles YouTube channel, right?
There is.
Yes.
There's a YouTube channel. There's, of course, this podcast, where we talk about this
Yeah.
all the time. There's our Facebook page, which we just started. That's Mindy, Ed, and Don Rickles. And in fact, Allie, if you would, you can grab a shot of that thing that you just showed us, and I'll share it with the page so people can take a look at what this
I'll
is.
send you a JPEG of it.
Perfect,
I found it recently. It was on eBay, and I just couldn't believe it. And so,
That's
Oh, that's
amazing.
so-
did know
wow.
each other back.
Oh my God,
Proof, right?
That really is incredible.
you're incredible at that
Wow.
stuff. It's amazing. So we'll share it with everybody.
No.
Alison Martino is our special guest on MENDR.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can't wait for
We
part
loved
two.
having you.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you
okay.
too. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.